in the previous video, we learned that the Anvil L90 is actually going to be much cheaper at the day of launch. And if you haven't seen that secret, go watch that video, link up here. But today, we're going to share with you a bunch of news about the update of the stores here in China, some new strategic investment from CATL, what that is all about. And of course, we got to answer the question, is this the beginnings of a short squeeze, or are we in the midst of a pump and dump? Which one is it? And I'm going to give you solid concrete evidence at the end of this video to support either one of these. But the gist of it is that if we are able to break above $4.5 per share and hold and close above $4.5 a share, then ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the bear trend, and we have started a new short squeeze. 191 million shares sold short needs to cover, and they are screwed. They are absolutely screwed. And this will be the beginnings of a longer term uptrend. Okay, $4.5 per share. However, on the flip side, if we fail to hold above $4 per share and we get rejected and move below $4 a share, we could possibly see lower stock price numbers going forward. Low threes, even possibly 2.8. But we'll leave that analysis at the end of this video. So there's the conclusion right there in case you don't make it to the end of the video. Now, quick message from our sponsor.
IQST, connecting the world, driving the future. IQST has not only built a telecom powerhouse, but has also laid the foundation for a diversified, high-tech, high-margin business platform. A platform designed to fuel expansion into fintech, AI-driven services, cybersecurity, and other cutting-edge technologies, maximizing every growth opportunity. Unprecedented growth. Revenue increased 95.9%, rising from $144.5 million in 2023 to $283.2 million in 2024. In just 1 year, IQST has nearly doubled its revenue, showcasing extraordinary expansion. Our subsidiaries have demonstrated their ability to generate sustainable profits, surpassing $2.5 million in adjusted EBITDA. Our telecommunications business remains strong, generating $1.7 million in net income with a 2.74% return on assets and a 38.87% return on equity. Total assets surged to $79.0 million, up 257% from $22.2 million in 2023, reinforcing IQST's financial strength. Stockholder equity has also strengthened. It grew 48%, reaching $11.9 million compared to $8 million in 2023, further solidifying confidence in our business model. Revenue per share reflects this accelerated growth. In 2024, revenue per share soared to $1.40, a remarkable 66.67% increase from 84 cents in 2023. A clear sign of the value IQST continues to create for its investors. Building on our momentum, IQST has signed an MOU to acquire 51% of Globetopper, a fintech leader. This strategic move accelerates our path to $1 billion in revenue by 2027, strengthens fintech profitability, pushes revenue toward a $400 million run rate. Additionally, we are strengthening IQST with the sale of our 75% stake in its B-chain to ASII. This transaction will generate both immediate and long-term value for IQST and its shareholders, and accelerates our path toward Nasdaq uplisting. At IQST, we appreciate the trust of our shareholders, investors, employees, and partners. We are consolidating a global force in telecommunications, financial technology, and cutting-edge technology. This is the moment to believe, to grow, and to win together. We believe in the future we're building. IQST.
So guys, IQST currently trading at around $9 per share. Add them to your watch list. They could come out with news tomorrow, pre-market. So keep an eye out on these guys. And I have a price target of $15 per share for this stock, which represents a 50% upside, and also a price target of $20 per share, which represents a 100% upside. So just add them to your watch list. Keep an eye out on these guys. Ticker symbol is IQST. All right, now back to the video. So let me break down a bunch of good news with the Anvil L90. So Anvil and NIO CEO William Lee and Dr. Shenfei, they've confirmed that the 7-row SUV version of the Envoy L90 will be available. However, the production of that is going to be a little bit later than actual launch. So end of July is when they're going to have the actual launch, and August 1st they're going to start official deliveries of the 6-seater version of the Envoy L90, and the 7-seater version will be a little bit later on. Now, there have been insiders that reported that there has been a 3 to 4x increase in store traffic, which is very, very nice in the Envoy stores. It just shows that there's lots of interest in this car. And of course, with the upcoming Li Auto i8, a lot of people are comparing these two, and a lot of people seem to be siding with the Envoy L90, which is definitely good news. So the inside report does say that almost a third of the customers coming in are considering between the Li Auto i8 and also the Envoy L90. So that's pretty interesting. And then also, apparently there has been a 30 to 35,000 pre-orders, and these orders, they place down the deposit of 2,000 RMB, which will go towards, be valued at 5,000 towards the purchase of the car. So that is definitely very, very good news. And it is reported that the consumer basis, the expectations for the price of the Envoy L90 was actually 15,000 to 20,000 higher than the price that they announced. So that means that the price of the Envoy L90 has significantly undercut expectations, which is definitely a very, very good thing. But we know it's going to be actually cheaper than that because of the secret that we learned in the previous video. So apart from that, we also got strategic investment from CATL, not in NIO Power, but in the battery asset management company, Weineng. So Weineng is basically, NIO owns 19% of Weineng. The battery asset management company, we'll just call it BAM, okay? So BAM isn't responsible for deploying swap stations and that kind of stuff. They're only responsible for the monthly BAS payment. So basically, when I bought my car, renting the battery with BAS, BAM pays for the battery. So NIO gets the full price of the car plus the price of the battery, but the money for the battery comes from BAM, and I have to pay BAM monthly to rent the battery. So that's how that works. So this strategic partnership signed, and you can actually see NIO CEO with CATL CEO, celebrating and having fun with the Envoy L90. What does this mean? It means that the BAM will actually also do battery rental for CATL's chocolate battery swap system. And that means BAM will be also earning monthly rental fees for those customers that choose to buy cars that can do battery swap with CATL's chocolate system. They're going to be earning money from that as well. So how does that directly benefit NIO and NIO shareholders per se? Well, it just means more business for them. Okay, much more, significantly more business for them. And then NIO owning 19% of that means that they will be, getting some profits and dividends from that. But the true extent of the benefits, they're kept under the wraps. All right, so we are not too sure about that. All right, so will we get a short squeeze or will we not? Here is the gist of it. As of recording this video, NIO stock is currently trading at $4 per share. If you want a short squeeze, the bulls need to push this above $4.50 per share, which is around this area. And what that will do is that will confirm a breakout of this downtrend line. And this downtrend line, guys, let me show you how important this downtrend line is. All right, so we got tap back there, tap back here, goes all the way back here when NIO was around $14, $15 a share, all the way back to when NIO was $55 per share. So this downtrend line is a hefty beast. It's like the roof. All right, so you got to poke your head above the roof if you want a short squeeze. So we got to break above this downtrend line with volume, a close above 4.5 that will confirm this breakout. And the fact of the matter is, this big wedge, all right, let me just show you guys what we're talking about here. This big wedge we are going to break out of it eventually, before the end of this year, probably. Okay, so the question is, are we going to break out now, or are we going to break out much later? Okay, so if we break out now, of course, that means we have to get above $4.5 per share. If not, which looks like we're being rejected over here, okay, it looks like it. I'm not saying that we are rejected. It looks like we're being rejected. That means we could potentially, move down and then perhaps test this bottom downtrend line, which is, might give you a price of around 2.8 potentially, okay? But I wouldn't expect anything lower than 2.8, to be very honest. Yes, we do have a 2.5 gap from a long, long time ago, but we could get a violent sell, kind of big crash, and then just bounce back up. But I expect this to hold. All right, I expect 2.8 to hold if we do get that downside move. So what we really want to see is, we want to break out this above this downtrend line with volume. If not, we could have more chugging along in this wedge, and then eventually break out maybe around here or something near the end of the year, and then boom, go up. And last time when we had a break, you see this big move, the stock price nearly pretty much doubled, more than doubled. So here I would expect a longer term uptrend, and not just a simple doubling of stock price. So I would put my money on $10 per share if we break above this downtrend line and close above it with good volume. So potentially $10 or even higher. Okay, but if we can't break above this, then we are just going to chug along over here, which could mean we get down to 2.8 possibly. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep an eye out on this downtrend line. We want to break above this. Hopefully the bulls can push it through. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, peace out.